Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the next instalment of Division 2 in RSF1 Season 4. I'm Primus Gaming, and today, well, first of all, I know it's weird for you to hear me here because I've been absent quite a bit lately. I was back last week for Singapore. You don't have Rubens here for a change. You have someone different. He's new to the comms team. So, everyone, please give a round of applause and a warm welcome to RSF1 Source to the comms team. How are you doing, Source?
I'm good today. Just been a nice little chill day. Can't wait to see some, hopefully some very good, tough racing from F2.
Obviously, we will not be going over some of the details for the race that happened today in Monaco. Okay, it's a bit cloudy here. We won't go over the details of the Monaco Grand Prix in real life in case any of you have missed it. So obviously, we're going to be courteous. Sort of the day of the race is sort of where you can not say anything, but I'm pretty sure when you leave it to Monday, the spoiler window is pretty much lifted. So for courteousness of the... of anyone who's not watched it, we won't say anything about the race. All I can say is it was very, very good. So that's all I'm disclosing. So I know sometimes people say it was a boring race, nothing happened in it. It was very entertaining. So Division 2, we're here in Sochi, we're in Russia. So this is a very interesting circuit, Source, because we already know that it can be a little bit awkward in this track for traction mainly because if you're not too careful, also track limits can be quite a pain here. The chicane, when you're going into turns 1 through 2, it almost has like a Monaco-y feel, where everyone's sort of bottlenecked into one little lane trying to get through that first chicane. That's been a very big source of action in the past, don't you agree?
I feel like it has, yes. I feel like the turn 1 to down to turn 2, I feel like I agree with you saying about Monaco is sort of similar to the section where they go under the tunnel and have the sharp left right, but obviously this time you just got the sharp right on turn 2, so it's similar in that kind of way. So
yeah, it has that chicane in turns 1 is very annoying because you could slightly clip it. And then you get a warning or anything like that. Fortunately, our drivers will probably use caution. And also, by the looks of it, if we're going to get rain in the qualifying, it's going to happen soon. Because those clouds don't really look too promising. Anyways, so as we have a little look on Hardy's onboard here, because... here's what we'll have a little look about this track, rocking number 22, which has been used now by Yuki Tsunoda. So the opening chicane, you've got to be very careful not to catch too much of the apex on the left there, especially cutting it. Very sharp, very high-speed left-hander, very easy to accidentally lose traction. This track has very nice run-off areas, but the problem is even if one wheel is out of line, that's an instant warning and has no mercy with track limits. So I imagine we will see some penalties. I know we don't want that, but the game will award some track limit penalties because here's a prominent one. You run a little wide, and then that would be an invalidation. Actually, let's have a little check of Lukey, see what he was on. Nah, he was still fine.
yeah.
But yeah, it is a very good track though. I like Russia. I think this is where Mercedes clinched a championship, if I remember, because I remember watching them going 2x2 down this track, sort of as a statement to the rest of the grid that Mercedes was in power at the time. But what do you think? Because obviously this season, in real life F1, it's very, very difficult to really say who's got what, because in some races Lewis Hamilton has the upper hand, and in some races Max Verstappen has the other hand. We're not going to disclose the Monaco Grand Prix, but from the results so far in the season, how do you feel it's going to look for you, Source, like your predictions?
To be fair, I feel like it'll come down to probably, I reckon, the last 3 or 4 races between Hamilton and Verstappen. I feel like if you give Verstappen another 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 years, I feel like he's going to be doing better than Hamilton is in that sort of span time, or however you say it. I just feel like 4 years I think Hamilton's going to start to drop off a little bit. And I feel like Verstappen's going to come through and he's going to take over as basically probably the best driver in Formula One at the time.
Well, Lewis Hamilton's accomplishments are definitely difficult ones to beat because he's accrued 100 poles. I think he's collected 96 race wins. So Lewis Hamilton has definitely already put himself at the top of the F1 history books in terms of being tied with Michael Schumacher for the most championship wins of all. He's already clinched Mercedes 7 consecutive constructors championships.
Yeah.
And he's already collected loads and loads of lap records.
Yes.
Also receiving gifts from the Senna family and the Schumacher family for his accomplishments. Lewis Hamilton,
133
as Schumacher said, that's the benchmark for today.
Yep.
Hardy looked like he was just getting a feel for that one because he's only just turned on the ERS because I think that was more of a warm-up and now he's giving it everything.
Yes, which looks like
we'll come back to our topic in a minute.
Yep.
Do you want to do an onboard with him?
Yeah, I can do. Yeah. Already come out to turn 4. So nicely, I think. Yeah. What's this? I think that's turn 5, down to turn 6. Yep, down to turn 6. Yeah, it takes this. Oh, looks like he had a little bit of a slide. Left-hander, nicely taken. The right. That's nice. Going down the long turn 8, turn 9, 10 to 11. I feel like this is the tricky bit. This side here. Looks like he took that beautifully.
Oh, a little bit of oversteer.
Tiny. That little bit there, I used to struggle with a lot because it's an uphill bit and it can unsettle the car. Coming to the last 2 corners, nicely. Feel like I was better than this last time. To the line, 131.7.
Not a bad lap, and Steffi put in a decent lap of a 31.4 while he was on the onboard there. That's a very good lap. 31.1
Lukey's
by
done a
Lukey, one of the
131.1.
championship protagonists.
Jesus. That's the race. That's race. Oh, Milan's beat him.
It's good to see Milan taking that little step of power, putting himself up in the top, on board of DRT Evo as he goes across the final corner to begin his flying lap of the Russian Grand Prix circuit here in Sochi into the DRS. So he's keeping the power down as he goes through the first curve. Very, very easy to accidentally catch the ball there when all the cars are side by side as they're ploughing down the start-finish straight into the turns 1 and 2 chicane. Locks up a little bit on the front right.
The last corner, Muddy Biscuit. 131.3 from Muddy Biscuit.
Good work to Milan. Moving out of the way for Evo. Moving through turns 4, cut the inside of that corner a little bit finely, but still there. Oh, lock up there. I imagine that's going to cost him some time as he's gone through turns 5. Now into 6 and 7. Careful with going through 7. If you run too wide coming out of it, that's a very easy spot to invalidate. Now turns 8 and into 9. Oh,
slap of oversteer
there. He managed to correct it, but that's going to cost him as he goes through turns 9, I think that's turns 9, down the DRS zone, the second DRS zone, moving down to the bridge where we saw a horrible incident with Carlos Sainz back in the day in Toro Rosso. Fortunately, he walked away unscathed, but it is still a very high impact. It sustained a load of lateral Gs. Under the bridge, not applying too much power, so he's still got good control of the traction. Oh, caught the bump, kicked the back end out. Saved it again, but I don't think from Evo it's going to be a quick lap. And unfortunately, that capture of the bump, and he's oh, he spun it!
Oh, I'm on board with Shrimper at the moment. Out of turn 2, he had a little snap of oversteer. Coming up to turn 5 and 6. Going around to turn 6 now. Tiny bit wide, I think. Turn 7. Oh, he's gone quite wide. might take a bit of time off that. Through turn 8, down to 9. In 202 miles an hour. Into turn 11 and 12. Taken nicely. 13 and 14. Cut that corner quite well. To the last 2 corners. To the line. 132.3.
Nice work. So I'd like to just 2 things.
Yep.
While we're in this qualifying session, and because we're only going to have we're not going to have anyone eliminated in Q1 unless anyone crashes on the track. So no one's going to be eliminated as we know of it. Shrimper. It is good to see Shrimper on the track because we all know Shrimper's not been well. He's been battling with cancer.
Yes.
And the fact that he's taken the time today to step into the McLaren to give us a good show in the circuit is nice to see. If you want to give some support to Shrimper, please show him some love in the chat. However, if you want to go that extra mile to help him, here and there in the chat, a link to a GoFundMe page will appear in our chat with the Nightbot. If you want to show some support, even if it's just a tiny donation, if you could just make a small donation to Shrimper, because every little bit can really go far to help him in his treatment with his battle with cancer, because chemotherapy can be quite heavy and also it can be very expensive. So even just a tiniest bit can really help him out. And the fact that he's chosen to step into this car today and to join us in the F2 grid, it is a pleasure to see.
Yes. JJ, what you were saying about that, JJ Hudson went to 3rd with a 131 flat. I think it was FTR Asteroid. I think he moved up to 6. I don't think he set a lap before then. I'm on board with Draco at the moment. He's had a purple 1st and 2nd. For the last few
Singapore
corners.
Grand Prix winner, CSR Draco.
Oh, is it pronounced Draco?
Draco. I think it's more just personal preference. I just call him Draco.
For the last 2 corners now. Nicely done. Last corner, straight to the line. 132.5. One thing
he displayed really good strategies, by the way. Sorry to cut in.
Yes.
In the Singapore Grand Prix, Predus was leading for a good while. Oh, JJ Hudson.
Jesus.
Only just narrowly beat Milan's time in the Ferrari. So Red Bull coming in strong today. Steffi in P3. JJ Hudson in P1, so good start for Red Bull Racing. But yeah, CSR Draco was quite far behind. I think the last handful of laps, Draco was like 12 or 13 seconds behind Predutz. And Predutz's tyres just dropped off in the last handful of laps. And the gap, Predutz also had a 3-second time penalty. On the very last lap when it started, the gap between himself and Predutz for safety was roughly about half a second. When they crossed the line, he won by 3/10. It was a truly amazing climb, and it was Draco's 2nd race win in RSF1, because he won back in Belgium, and that race in Singapore also really destroyed my vocal cords because I was screaming like hell because I was really into it. But Draco had really surprised me because I didn't get to catch the F2 Belgium Grand Prix, and to see him pull off that win in Singapore was pretty spectacular.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I didn't watch that one. To be fair, I haven't watched the streams in quite a while, so I still got a bit to catch up on, and obviously with all this and just trying to catch up on stuff. So Hardy was on a lap, but he's invalidated.
I mean, he's more than welcome to use this Q1 because, as I said, no one's being eliminated. He's just taking it as practice. You might as well just burn out that set, get a feel for how many laps it'll take for your tyres to eventually feel like they're losing grip. That's very good data that he can give himself, because he'll know the percentages. We just know the amount of laps he's done.
Yes.
He knows the amount of the percentage, the life on those tyres. And that brings up a question, Source. In your time as a racer, what is the highest tyre life you've managed to push a tyre to the end of a Grand Prix without punctures?
I think it was my actual win on the Dutch Grand Prix. My first and only win. I think the rears on my hards went to 78.
Oh, I can tell you mine, and you'll be like, "What?"
It's probably gonna be like 86 or something.
Oh no! China, season 4, 95%.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, they
How?
had fallen. Oh, I don't know. I just nursed them as far as I could, as long as I could, because it was a very difficult race. It was more of like a fight of attrition, because I was kind of hoping a safety car would come out.
Yeah.
If not, then I just had to survive. And I actually got onto the podium, even with those dead tyres, because a load of people had penalties, so I managed to jump them. And yeah, 95%. And that was on the, I think it was mediums or hards. I think it was hards.
Yeah.
So I think I was like lap 3 to the end of the Chinese Grand Prix. I took those hards till.
Jesus.
So it was ballsy, and I was praying my tyres didn't explode. Unfortunately, on the very high degradation circuit like China, they didn't. And it paid off very well, but that was... Oh! Hardy through the chicane before the final couple of corners.
I feel
loses
like that corner's going to be quite a hard one for a lot of people in this race today. I feel like a few people might lose it, or lose quite a lot of time in the actual race because of it.
Well, when you're pushing it completely at 100%,
yeah,
sometimes you're not aware of the lines that you could be taking, or you could accidentally be cutting it or going too wide. I've seen it happen before in some races where they just overdo it, even if they've got like a no traction setup, just the wrong application of throttle, and then just off they go, span out. And yeah, it is happened more than once, and I hate to see it, because some drivers had really worked hard to get up to where they got to, just for a slight miscorrection of slight wrong application of throttle or steering. It is such an easy mistake to make, and I've seen a lot of drivers sort of beat themselves up over it, because they think like all that hard work for nothing. I've done it myself.
Yeah.
Except for it was more of my eagerness got the better of me. It was like one of the races where I could have gotten the win, and I didn't. I jumped the start, I was on pole, I pitted straight away because I had a drive-through, because I jumped the start, and I went to dead last, and I fought my way back up to second, and I was a few seconds off away from catching back up to the guy on pole. I remember that, and even though second was really good in my championship battle, I was really angry at myself, because that was, it could have been a win. But hey-ho, I'm among those drivers that have made that mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I could have had 2 wins to my record this season before I decided to jump down to reserve and join the comms team, because I don't know if you remember, Australia, I was running probably a stupid setup compared to everyone else, because I had a 4-4 wing, which everyone was like, "What are you doing?" But it worked for me, so I used it, and I think I pitted onto my hards, managed to come back. I think I come out in first still, and managed to get past. Managed to stay in front of everyone. I think I was pulling away. I think 3 or 4 seconds a lap, and then unfortunately, bring it up again, but Shadow spun it out of the fast left right.
Turns 11 and 12 chicane
but
in Australia.
He was in the one section, because he's in a black Mercedes. He was in the one place where there was a shadow on in the track, and because I've come flying around so fast, I couldn't have time. I couldn't see him, but by the time I saw him, it was way too late, and unfortunately it took me out of the race. But after it gave me the fire in my belly to come back, and obviously I won the Dutch Grand Prix. So
That's good to hear that. Something's fueled you to get going again. Like when I was in seasons 2 and 3, I was more of a second driver. So when season 4 came around, it was nice to, I started off the first race of the season with a podium, and I was just like, right, this is my season, and regardless if I win it or get close, it's been a good season in Division 4. If anyone of you have not seen any of the action yet in Division 4, please check it out. It's on YouTube. It's all saved there, so you've got a little bit of catching up to do if you want to see what's going on in all of the divisions, not just Division 4, but Divisions 1 through 5. So something's happened, because we just witnessed Hardy pull into the pits and retire, so that ended the qualifying session. Right, it didn't even pull up the board, but that's fine. No one got eliminated anyways.
Thankfully.
That wouldn't have been handy.
No, one thing I don't know if you realise, I find it interesting in that one. Breezy was the only one that went out on mediums.
The thing is if this is definitely going to be, because I don't think we've got a weather report yet of what's happening in the race. I'm pretty sure it could be dry. Qualifying, not certain.
Why is Lukey on wet?
Lukey might be hinting, or he could just be throwing us off. To be fair, we've had this before in the past where some of them are flashing intermediates and wets.
Yep, there he is.
And they could. So it's a possibility of wets or inters. I mean, someone's gone straight out onto soft compound tyres. That is JJ Hudson. And this is a track. This is a track where it's really, really important on tyres, because it's a very high deg circuit. So, well, it's actually a medium deg, I'd say. It's not as intense as Singapore, but still, it can be quite harsh on tyre life.
Yes.
Mediums. It's either, I think it's mediums could definitely be your best good friend around here, but there's still the big debate of hards and softs. It all depends on how your skill level is with a less grippier tyre compound. But if a load of the grid is staying on softs, then that's probably hinting at maybe the chances of there being rain early in the race.
Yeah, because I feel like if the majority is on. I feel like it's starting to get half-half with the soft mediums at the moment, but I feel like if the majorities are on soft, then I feel like you should know if it's going to rain or not with a track like this.
The driver's tyre choice sort of would hint it all, because I've seen races around here back in F1 2019 on season 1 and 2. Loads of people would just jump out straight away on mediums. So it's either they're planning on getting out and racing out, getting a lap done before the rain arrives, or there is rain in the Grand Prix.
Yes.
Alright, let's pull up chat as well here.
If
anyone's got any questions for them...
Apparently there's no rain. Apparently there's no rain. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Basie Asteroid?
So he said there's no rain.
So I guess that's FTR Asteroid. Guessing.
Right, so on board of JJ Hudson anyways, who's the first car to do a flying lap around the Sochi circuit into the tight left-hander. This is for Daniel Kvyat and Sebastian Vettel, back when Kvyat was in Red Bull, and they had a little bit of an incident, the 4-time champion and Danny Kvyat. It's quite a bit ago now, but that's where he effectively got his name, the Torpedo, from Danny Kvyat, or that could be from China, I'm not too sure. Anyways, still pushing through. JJ Hudson, still looking quite well. He cut that corner quite finely. He climbed the curb a little bit, but it didn't look like he suffered in terms of traction or any loss of speed, so he's still holding on very well. JJ Hudson has proven he can be quite a quick driver. He's been a contender for good podiums here, in Division 2 at least. Into the DRS, pushing down the straight. Now, here comes a very difficult area, the bridge. As Source said, it has a little bit of an uphill climb at some point. Also, that's a very difficult corner there. As you're coming out the bridge, that very harsh left-hander is a very difficult spot to really get the power down and to get traction, because I've seen lots of people spin it Go too wide and hit the curb on the outside and invalidate over the second to last corner, keeping it nice and tight. He goes on a little bit of a wider line coming out of the second to last corner into the final and crosses the line with a 1:30.9. That's a good lap.
Draco was behind him, but he invalidated, so he's going for a second lap right now. Going up to...
We have to keep an eye on Milan.
Yes.
Oh, breezy!
Oh!
3/10 of a second.
I was gonna say, I feel like he's gonna be one to watch because he was put right into the middle of all the soft runners on Q1. I know everyone's not fully pushing, but I feel like with the medium time that he had, I felt like he could do a really good soft run, which he obviously has right now. Now it's just if anyone can beat him.
Meanwhile, going through the bridge section. FFR Milan in the Ferrari, that's actually quite nice and tidy. Getting a nice run into the chicane. It's very, very dicey, that bit. As you said, that can be where everything could be lost if you're not careful. Going into the last corner, FFR Milan goes P3. So he's in the consistent top 3 of his laps so far, and that's his first lap of Q2. I reckon if he goes back out for a second lap, I think he could probably go that little bit faster because when the track starts to wear in a little bit, when track evolution starts to kick in, more time will be found.
Yes, the next person to set a lap, I believe, is going to be FTR and Asteroid coming into the last 2 corners. Oh, he's backed off.
Oh, he's getting himself ready. He's just letting the car in front pull away.
I didn't realise he was on an outlap. There he goes across the line to start this flyer. And up to turn 2 now. Got a bit of traffic in his way. Taking that corner nicely. No snap of oversteer or anything. Lukey and Dangerous Dan getting out of his way. Tight left-hander. Nice and tight. Turn 4, sorry. Quite nice. Up to turn 5. Nicely done. Through to turn 6. Oh! He had a slide there. Jesus.
Good save. That was close to nearly being a front end into the wall.
DRS zone. See how fast he can get down here. 204. Back to turn 11 and 12. This is the corner that I said about. Turn 13. Nicely done. Turn 14 to the last 2 corners now. Up to the last corner.
Been quite tidy.
132.
Impressive.
If he would have been a lot. I think he would have been mid 131s if he didn't have that little slide.
It was still a good lap.
Yes.
But I do reckon. Oh, he's going for it again. I would take this opportunity for this lap.
Yep.
As a cool down to charge the battery. If you go straight away afterwards, you can do that. But obviously you're at the risk of running out of battery. So FTR Asteroid will come back to him. Obviously he's taking that gamble. Meanwhile, on board of Lukey being one of the championship protagonists, he's second in the Drivers' Championship behind Muddy Biscuit at the moment. He is looking for that extra push to retake the lead because I think, if I'm correct from the results that I saw on the website, 20 points separate Lukey and Muddy Biscuit. So the championship battle for the Drivers' Championship is still there. Lukey's been getting good podiums and all that, but Muddy Biscuit has been one of the most consistent drivers I've ever seen. In this whole season, Source, he has not collected a single 3-second penalty for extending track limits or corner cutting. He has received the odd, 5-second for contact in.
Who's that, Muddy?
So, yeah, in safety cars, but in terms of track limits and corner cutting, I've never seen him collect S04.
That is very impressive. I wish I could do the same.
He's
Oh!
very. Oh,
Lukey
Lukey!
that.
Oh! That was
Still a
squirrely.
great-
A
still a good lap.
32-4. Oh!
Evo goes to 10th.
He had
knocking
two
Hardy
moments. That was
They-
close.
ooh.
He almost smashed it into the wall before the
Yeah.
pit stop.
Jesus.
Also, would like to just make it clear for drivers that if anyone's entering the pit lane, you have to enter from the pit lane entrance at before the second to last corner. If you take the second to last corner on track and then you clip across to enter the pits, you will be penalised because that is the equivalent of cutting corners to save yourself time to gain another lap. If anyone is caught doing that, the stewards will be on that immediately. So, because a load of people have been doing it in the past and it really did annoy the steward team a lot because
Unsafe.
it was basically saving a load of time when you should go back around again and then go into the pits.
I also feel like it's quite unsafe as well. But
Oh, definitely.
so, what were you saying that?
Draco!
Draco! I was going to say, whilst you were saying that, Mega Centaurian 02 went to second, but now he's third. Only just beaten Steffi Weffy Gamer.
And Draco, the Singapore Grand Prix winner last week, had taken the top spot in Q2. I'm pretty sure that could guarantee him safety for the rest of the qualifying session.
Lukey's into the pit. Might be trying to get a set of. Should be trying to get a set of softs on because he's in 13th. Same with Ash, Dan, Dangerous Dan. Asteroid's gone again on the mediums. Evo's into the pit as well. Hardy's now on a lap.
Predoots is not having a good day. The pole sitter from the Singapore Grand Prix qualifying, he collected second in the end. He was the driver that lost out just by 0.3 of a second in Singapore on his second win, nearly. So he is back with a vengeance, but unfortunately it doesn't look like he's had a good time in qualifying at the moment because he's just invalidated his lap. So he's probably going to go back in, slap in another set of softs and try one more time because he is in the danger zone, as Boddy used to say, of being knocked out of qualifying. And as it stands, Dangerous Dan, Asteroid, Lukey, Evo and Hardy are the drivers in danger of being eliminated from Q2. But Hardy is on a lap. Source, for anyone that's new,
Yep.
could you explain to them the concept of the elimination in qualifying? So regarding if we had a full grid, for example.
So yes, if we had a full grid, if I'm correct, we'd have 20 racers altogether.
Correct.
So from Q1, the bottom 5, so 16th to 20, will be eliminated. Obviously on pace time. In Q2, it will be from position 11th to 15th, get knocked out, and then the top 10 go for a straight shootout to get pole in Q3 to start the race.
And for anyone who's not familiar with the concept of Parc Ferme, so with your setups, when you start Q1, you apply your setup, and once you leave the pit, once you leave your pits, that is it. You're not allowed to alter the setup. You can alter it slightly. There is some little bits you can tweak, but you can't tweak the full setup. Also, when you go into the battle to get into Q3, if you make it into Q3 in the top 10, whatever tyre you used to guarantee safety in Q2, it will be your starting tyre. So, for example, everyone's on softs, but let's say, for example purposes, Caesar was on mediums, and he got into the top 10, and Q2 was over, he'd start on those mediums in the race. If we had a restart and then he chose to start on something else that wasn't his mediums that he used, he'd be disqualified immediately from the session. So that's also one thing we've got to keep an eye out when we do lobby restarts, is anyone trying to get cheeky in the top 10 in changing their tyre choice. The only okay, Caesar 2 Wizard, as I was commentating on him, he just went for that chicane there just before the second to last corner, lost the back end. I wasn't nice to him.
Did he hit the wall or did he save it? Because he does not have any damage.
He saved it.
Okay.
But unfortunately, it cost him time. He does beat his time and improves by a full tenth of a second, like perfect tenth. Sadly, though, it wasn't enough to get him up a position. He's still in P10. Meanwhile, the championship leader, Muddy Biscuit, is out on the track. Little bit of McLaren teamwork there as Shrimper tried to give him the toe. He's 4/10 up on his time at the moment in the second sector. So
JJ Hudson
so far,
is
so good.
Following him.
Muddy is in risk of being eliminated. So is JJ Hudson. If the drivers below can improve, I reckon they can. So I think for safety, they have to do these laps. Crossing the line goes Muddy Biscuit in P2. The championship leader has given himself a safety net. Oh, Red Bull, McLaren, Williams, and AlphaTauri. We can't forget FFR Milan, though. He is definitely in the mix. I mean, he is actually on a lap right now, but he's actually quite down on time. So I reckon he's invalidated and he's on a charging lap.
Yeah, it's JJ Hudson is only 10. Is it 10 hundredths down on Milan?
He is. Yeah, he is. No, he's a 100th of a second. 100. So that is the end of qualifying. So as it stands,
Caesar is out.
Caesar 2 Wizard. Oh, he's retired in the pit lane. He's deemed it not worth. He didn't have enough time anyways. JJ Hudson has aborted his lap. Mega Centurion and Steffi Weffy Gamer will not be continuing. Lukey's invalidated. So is Shrimper. So Pedux round the second to last corner.
134.
And he gets the second place.
Shrimper's out. Dangerous Dan's next. I think Shrimper's not on a lap. Evo's gone to 12. It's not good enough.
Dan's up by 9/10 of a second. Sorry to cut in. This is important. If Dan improves enough, he'll knock out Lukey. Going through the final chicane, into the second to last corner, goes Dangerous Dan. Gets a good wide run into the final corner. Can he knock out Lukey as he goes into Q3? No, he can't. Just misses out.
Asteroid unfortunately invalidated that lap as well, so he will be starting in 15th place.
Lukey barely surviving by the skin of his teeth. I think Dan lost a load of time when he went through the bridge section. I noticed he had a slight moment of understeer. That was big. But we've lost both the Mercedes. We've lost Shrimper, FTR Asteroid, and Caesar 2 Wizard. Who do you think we should invite in for a quick interview, Source?
Let's go with Dangerous Dan because he seemed like he was up on his time quite a lot, and somehow I wasn't watching him, but somehow he's only got 12th.
Could you send him an invite, please?
Let's try and figure.
There we go. So while you do that, don't worry, I'll go over the drivers eliminated in the session so far. So in P15, for the start of the Russian Grand Prix, FTR Asteroid is in 15th. The Portuguese driver will be at the back of the grid in his Ferrari. Caesar 2 Wizard in 14th in the Alfa Romeo. DRT Evo in 13th in his Mercedes. In 12th is Dangerous Dan in the other Mercedes. So both of the Silver Arrows are out.
He is invited.
And then the driver who's actually in a very prime opportunity, a prime spot for the start of the race is Shrimper, because I have seen races won from around the P11 to 12 range. So
yes,
I can say that speaking for experience, because I won the
Shrimper.
I won the Azerbaijan Grand Prix from 12. Hello, Dangerous Dan. Welcome to the virtual comms box. Make sure you've included your audio by ticking the box.
Yeah, I've got it all done.
So, Dan, first of all, good to speak to you. Has been a while.
And yes.
So, it has been a bit of a difficult one for Mercedes today, because you had a little bit of practice in Q1. You had looked like the pace was quite good. but then in Q2, you're nearly 9/10 up in your time, but did you lose time in the final sector in the bridge? Because I thought for sure you was going to maybe get like maybe a high 30, but then you only just got a 31.
Yeah, it was too much curb as you take that chicane in the final sector. Too much curb, and it just lost me that couple of tenths. I'm not sure if I'd have got into the top 10. I'll be honest, because it was a good 3 tenths that I needed to gain, but yeah, it's close either way.
And obviously it is a dry race, if I'm right.
Yes, yeah, fully dry.
So everyone's taking that gamble on the soft compound tyre for the start. Obviously the people outside the top 10 will have to wait and see. So we'll ask you this. What's your prediction on like how your race will go? Like, what's your goal for today?
Well, I'm hoping points. I've got to hope for a late safety car if I want to really be in the chance of, let's say, top 5. My plan is to do a medium soft and go alternate strategy, because that's probably the best way to go from where I'm starting. So just to hope for some sort of chaos towards the end of the race, I guess, would help me out a lot in terms of strategy.
And your prediction on the top 3 in Q3, who do you feel is going to take the top spot, and who's going to follow behind him in the other 2 races?
Alright, I'm not going to tell you in order because it's too close. I can't tell. So I'm going to go between Draco, Milan, and Creedhouse. Those are my top 3.
Oh, okay, fair enough. That's a good prediction.
I hope
Source,
so.
do you have any questions for Dan while we have him here?
No, I do not.
Right, Dan, thank you for joining us just for a brief couple of questions. Good luck in your race, and hopefully we'll speak to you maybe in the podium interview.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, mate. Hope it's a good one to commentate on. I'll catch you later.
Oh, we'll do our best. We'll do our best. If people can give us a good show, it'll be a good race. Also, thank you for 32 viewers, by the way.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you very much,
Good
Dan,
luck.
and we'll speak to you in a bit. Hopefully.
Cheers, guys. Thanks. See you in a bit.
JJ Hudson
So-
invalidated on the outlap. He was the first one to be set in a lap, but he's invalidated. So I think the next one is Pre-Doubts.
And he is
Bear with.
looking for redemption from that loss of the win back in Singapore, because I think we both know that pain of losing out on a win. So Predoots, he's on the charge. He has said he wants to win. He knows he's not probably going to be able to contend for the Drivers' Championship because he has joined late. His debut was Monza, and he won his debut, actually, so it's very good work from him. So he has proven himself quite quick of a driver. But
Yes.
so far, he's had a good track record. In both the races that he has attended, he has collected a top 3 position. So
Pre-Doubts coming through to the last corner now. 134.
30.4.
Bear with, I'm just going to quickly sort out some food.
No worries, I'll hold down the fort while you sort yourself out for some food.
Cheers.
Oh, Draco, 8.2. Very good work in the Williams. So I reckon we could be seeing, maybe, I'm hoping we see a high 29 Shrimper. Thanks, kids. Screaming in my ear as I'm letting Muddy through, and I hit the wall and broke my way. Ah! Sometimes it's the unpredictableness of having the little uns with you. They always like to have a little bit of fun. Unfortunately, when you're trying to drive, can't really fully divert your attention. Otherwise, you look away one moment, you hit the wall. S04 Milan crosses the line in the Scuderia, goes P5, so 30.7. The gap between P4 and P6 is separated by 0.06 of a second. Very close, and looks like Steffi Weffy Gamer has now emerged from the pit lane as Milan sets his lap, and Steffi is now going to get ready. We have all of the Honda running cars yet to set a lap.
I'm back. Oh, I'm back a minute. JJ Hudson looked like he was on a lap, but he's dove into the pit.
Has got some time. He's got 6.5 minutes to
Yes.
come back out and do another lap. I reckon that's more than enough time. If anyone would like to apply to RSF1, there is also links in the chat to the Nightbot, www.racingseries.f1.com. Links will be in there, so you can feel free to access them, and you'll be able to send an application to join the league. Contact RSF1 Shane, and you'll then be on your way to joining us on the grid, hopefully. So yeah. If any new people are wondering, can I join? You're more than welcome. We're an Xbox league. You can join if you like. Obviously, we're not on PlayStation yet at the moment. So yeah, strictly just Xbox at the moment. Steffi Weffy Gamer, the other Red Bull, is now about to begin his flying lap around Sochi. Down the final corner, into the start-finish straight, into the DRS. It's a very, very big start-finish straight here because it's such a large drag race, unlike most tracks where turn one's so close to the start. That's a very big trek down the whole track to get to the first chicane.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that.
No worries, welcome back.
Oh.
Oh!
Oh! When did Draco go top? Was it just do that, or I wasn't.
Oh, he did that just shortly after you went to go get food.
Ah.
Oh, Steffi just got a little bit too squirrely under the power there. He just tried to put his foot down. The car wiggled from being unsettled. Managed to regain control, but he then extended the track limits and then invalidated. So Steffi Weffy Gamer will have to go back around again. And unfortunately, that's pretty much the prime grip in his tyres for a fast flying lap gone.
Yeah, O'Hardy is coming up to turns 5 and 6 right now. We're through turn 6 right now. Nicely done. Through to turn 7. Hit the curb. Oh, and he's invalidated.
Oh! The Honda car just can't seem to set a lap at the moment. Right now, Ferrari power and Mercedes power has set a lap, but no Honda.
I feel like O'Hardy he looked like he was going to be on a good lap end, but it's just that little bit of curb just catches, you clip that and it unsettles the car.
I'd have to say, that win in Singapore really did give Draco some serious drive, because he's currently sitting on provisional pole.
Yep.
But Predoots, I imagine he will... he'll be trying his luck again. Oh, RSF1 Lincoln says hi, Sauce.
What's up, Lincoln?
Cheering you on in the chat.
My old teammate. just before I dropped to reserve.
So
Mega Centaurian has just started a lap, by the way.
I was about to say, would you like the honours of on board of Centurion?
I'll let you do this one.
Okie dokie. Well, going round the sweeping left-hander, the fast left-hander where, again, Antonio Giovinazzi, Romain Grosjean and Daniel Ricciardo had that little sandwich moment, and it resulted in the Haas of Romain Grosjean going into the wall. Fastest first sector by Mega Centurion as of the moment. In his Alfa Romeo, we saw Steffi Weffy Gamer get a little twitchy and extend the track limits and invalidate there. Fortunately, Mega Centurion did not do the same. He's currently P4, and he's looking like he could be in for a very good position, maybe even on pole. We'll have to see how he goes through the second sector, down the DRS straight. Still looking nice and good.
3 dots is following him down.
Fastest second sector. Through the bridge, Little Sparks. Little Sparks is as a driver. I imagine he probably was going to make the race, but very late.
Okay.
So Little Sparks will be at the back of the grid then, but we won't know what car he'll be in, because sometimes it won't always put him in his official car. He's officially an AlphaTauri, but it might put him in something else. I guess Centurion, round the final corner, crosses the line, second place, 9 thousandths of a second behind Draco.
3 dots is coming around the corner right now, crossing the line. 29.9.
29. That's the first 29.
JJ Hudson is coming through the last corner now. 135.
That's a good lap.
This is getting close. Draco's on a lap though, so he's going to be looking to respond to Predelt.
Muddy Biscuit, though, the championship leader, is currently sitting behind his championship rival. He probably doesn't like that one bit, so he is out on a lap at the moment. Predut's 129.9 though seems really, really aggressive. I don't know what the word would be. It's emphasising his strength around this track. So I remember him saying he quite likes Russia. So Predut's is definitely making sure this is his race. His is where he makes redemption for Singapore. But we have to wait and see as Muddy Biscuit rounds through that chicane. Looks like he had a little bit of a rough entry through that chicane.
The yellow flag for Predelts, but he's just staying slow, so I think he's run out of fuel, maybe.
Oh, Muddy's gone P4.
Oh, I'm watching Steffi Weffy Gamer at the moment. He's yet to set a lap. Coming through the DRS zone on down to turn 9 and 10. To turn 12.
I like the helmets.
Yeah, the little like
quite nice.
Yeah, just the sort of like mixture between blue, like faded between purple and blue.
I like it
Steffi's
F1
coming through the
2021
last two corners.
If we can create our own helmets like properly.
Yes, like Black Ops when you have like Call of Duty, you had the emblems that you could make. If you could just do that,
yeah,
with like your helmets.
I love that.
Like the thing is, you'd see so much more expression from drivers. It'd be, I feel like I would prefer watching it because it'd just be more fun just to see what they put on their helmets and stuff.
Because me, I would put something a little bit more sentimental on my race helmet. As S04 Milan though crosses the line at P4, here's a very big push. Hardy is yet to set a lap in the third qualifying session in Division 2, round the second to last corner, now into the final corner. Hardy crosses the line. What does he get? He goes a 30.7, a good lap, but that does not push him up in terms of position. Meanwhile, on board with Draco, he's slightly improved. This could be important because Predut's has taken provisional pole away from him. Draco around the final corner. Does he get pole?
Oh!
He doesn't. He's 1,000th of a second away from rounding off to a perfect 1 minute fade.
JJ Hudson, he's the last one. I think he's going to be the last one to set a lap. Coming through to the lap. Oh, he's invalidated!
Oh! And this is big. Lukey is in front of Muddy Biscuit directly. The championship rivals are sitting next to each other on the start of the Russian Grand Prix. And there you have it.
Mason says
the top
in the
10.
Chat. Sorry, how's it going, Primus? Sorry I couldn't join you tonight. Looking forward to the Thursday.
Good to see you there, Mason Dunks. Yeah, he's been doing really well in Division 4. He's been really finding the pace and up there in the top 3, but we'll come back to that shortly. Yep. Hardy in 10th position in AlphaTauri with both the Red Bull 9 and 8th, Muddy Biscuit 7th, Lukey 6th, Breezy 5th, Milan 4th, Centurion 3rd, Draco 2nd, and Predut making it his 3rd consecutive pole laps in qualifying, 3 in a row. He's gotten the hat-trick. However, he did lose that win in the race in Singapore, so hopefully, again, it's redemption day for him. But who knows? We'll wait and see when we get into the Russian Grand Prix. And now we're in the transition period.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to come down to how everyone is obviously into turn 2, because turn 1 is I wouldn't really class turn 1 as an actual turn because they do obviously on the track, but
just a curve.
Yeah, that's what I find that quite funny on a lot of the tracks. They say it's a corner, but it's not really. But then
it's just the logic, isn't it?
yeah. But
I call that a corner. No, it's not. It's not even. You don't even have to slow down.
I mean,
a corner.
Turn 3 is different because it's a full left turn, which is basically a U-turn, but it's pretty much full speed. But turn 1, turn 1, turn 9, turn 10. I don't feel like they're corners.
Question.
Yep.
With the formation lap and the race start, would you like to have the honours of doing the formation lap from the back to the front, and then I'll start us off the line?
Yes, I can do that if you would want me to.
Lovely jubbly. It's your choice, mate. If you'd like to go over the blow-by-blow from lights out, or if you just want to prefer to do the formation lap and let me scream our way into turn 1. Like turns 2, because turn 1's just a bend. Can we? Like, I know, obviously, in the Ebola drone, it's called the isn't straight. Can we just call that the first bend? Just like the isn't straight, or insert name here.
Oh, let me try and change it on Google.
Yeah, kind of like when in Austria they've got on the grass, like on the runoff in Austria, it's Valtteri's lawnmower business or something like that, because I remember he said he was just mowing the grass in the 2020 opener, and just people labelled that on Google Images. Actually, I need to pattern it. I need to go to that hairpin in China at the end of the really large straight and label that the Bohemi hairpin.
And what about turn 3 with the Sebastian Vettel?
Oh,
Is it turn 3?
torpedo turn. You can think of some really clever names of corners, like if they don't already have one. Torpedo turn, and then like turns 11 and 12 in Australia is just more of death with corners, because you go into the opening part of that chicane, you could easily lose it there, but it's worse coming out of it because there's a really big curb at the exit of turns 12, and I've seen lots of people catch too much of it, and even if they have good traction or bad traction setups or whatever, the car just spins. And the only time I've ever seen in my time as a commentator someone lose it on that, hit the wall to the right and actually face upwards and fly into the sky. Literally, I saw Williams, I think it was cross carry.
How's that possible?
Just hit. Oh, he managed it. I think it's just because the physics decided to have a heart attack, shot cross carry's car into the sky, and then he just came tumbling down.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it wasn't the prettiest crashes, I have to say. I've seen some pretty big ones, but that was definitely one of the biggest ones. And here we go. We're about to start the formation lap. Thank you very much for 33 viewers so far. And I'll pass over now to RSF1 Source for the formation lap of Division 2.
Formation lap is underway. In 16th, who joined last and didn't make it to qualifying, is Lil Sparks. He is... bear with, let me get the tyres. Lil Sparks is starting on the medium tyres in 16th. FTR Asteroid in 15th, also starting on the mediums. Caesar Wizard in 14th, starting on the softs, surprisingly. Down in 14th. In 13th is DRT Evo, starting on the mediums as well. 12th is Dangerous Dan on the mediums. 11 is Shrimper 84 on the softs. 10th is El Hardy on the softs as well. 9th is Steffi Weffy Gamer on softs. JJ Hudson in the Red Bull is on softs in 8th. Muddy Biscuit in 7th on the softs. Lukey in the beautiful pink Racing Point, it must say myself, in 6th on the softs. Breezy is also on the softs in P5. FFR Milan in 4th on the softs. Megazentorian 02 is on the softs in 3rd. CSR Draco is on softs in P2. And bringing up the front is Predouts with an incredible 129.9 in Q3, starting at pole position on the softs.
Back in the day, we had a commentator, Element Snow.
Yes.
Every time he'd say Haas, he pretty much emptied a lung to say it. He'd do like a post off it. He'd like, and in 16th place is Lil Sparks. He'd always do like a post office one. And then as soon as he got to a Haas, he's like, and on pole is Predators in the Haas. He'd do that. And everyone loved it. I'm shouting you out, Vettel. I know you're watching this. I know you're watching it, Vettel. Also, Lil Sparks, because he joined late, he didn't actually get proper selection of his car. He's officially an AlphaTauri driver, but due to joining late, not being able to make it to qualifying, the game has put him in the... Well, it goes from top to bottom, and there was a Renault seat available, so it put him in the highest seated available car, so that was Renault. So whatever points he earns today will go to the AlphaTauri team, not to Renault. Surprised to see nobody outside the top 10 running the C2 tyre. Well, it is surprising to see no one has chosen to take those hards, but it's a gamble that they're going to take for the start of the Russian Grand Prix. I think if there's an early safety car, or at least a safety car in the quarter distance, I reckon hards will make an appearance. But for the time being, cars line up for the Russian Grand Prix.
This is interesting. Just looking at the F2 paddock, they don't actually have any reserves, so we do not have a Racing Point or a Haas driver.
And it's now going to be lights out, and away we go in Sochi. Predus gets a bit of a bad start going off the line, but looks like so does CSR Draco. Second Centurion's moved up to second. He's putting pressure on the race leader going down to turns 2 through 3 as they go down the isn't straight. It's 3 wide going into turn 2. Ferrari moves up to second. Draco's fallen from second place to fourth. Breezy to fifth. Lukey's still 6th with Money Biscuit 7th. Hudson 8th. Hardy 9th. Shrimp 10th. Steffi Weppy Game has fallen down to 11th position. Dangerous Dan 12th. FTR Milan is in, FTR Asteroids in 13th. Caesar 2 Wizard 14th. Evo's 15th. There's battles between the Ferrari and the Alfa Romeo as they push down the end of the first sector zone, and it looks like there's a double overtake by Caesar 2 Wizard, who almost tries to take Dan side by side, battling the Mercedes. Holds inside, there's contact. He's got wing damage. There's big battles, and there's already been damage for Caesar 2 Wizard. Oh my god, he hit the... Oh!
What is happening at the back?
Wizard and Dan just having the contact. It looks like Evo was collected there.
Asteroid's right on the back of Dan at the moment.
Evo's got no damage though.
That's all surprising.
Oh. Got a bit of a battle, between Hardy and Muddy Biscuit down at the final corner. It's a drag race, really. Looks like the grid is organising itself, because it's like when it shuffles everyone about, it's not very nice. Caesar 2 Wizard takes an early pit stop. Could he be the first to go onto hard tyres?
Yes, he is.
So the first person to take the bold step onto the hard compound tyre.
Will they go to the end?
Not too sure. All right, the grid's having a freak out moment.
Asteroids in
I
first.
can't see the intervals. It always does this in F1 2021, which I really don't like.
I hope
it always likes to shuffle.
I hope F1 is it 2021?
Yeah, the new one.
Yes. I'm hoping that fixes everything, because apparently Caesar's in first.
Even though he's at the very far back of the grid on those half compound tyres.
Evo has got a penalty.
I did say we will see some, unfortunately, because this is such an easy track to just accidentally cut a corner or break a track limit.
There we go. Caesar's back down into 16th now.
And it looks like the battles are still staying quite close. This is one of those tracks where there is plenty of overtaking opportunities, but if you manage to get some good pace down like Predutz has, he's already extended the gap to about a second. DRS will be active now. Is there any
could be interesting for Hardy, because
like...
Hardy's right on the back. No, Shrimper's right on the back of Hardy.
He's keeping it nice and close. He's actually underfueled, so he will have the better pace having the lighter car. But underfueling might bite him in the back near the end. So he's got to hope for a safety car at some point so he can maybe harvest some fuel.
As well as Draco is slowly closing in on Milan. Trying to put him under pressure. Probably, I think Draco's. I think he wants to get past Milan as quick as he can to try and chase down Predout. Sorry.
Oh, we've lost Caesar 2 Wizard down the back of the grid.
Oh,
looks like he's lost.
Draco's
it
gone to the
through
outside. Outside of turn 9.
Oh, and he shuts the door on Milan. Locks up. Milan tries to get a look around the outside, but Draco, he says, no thank you, mate. You're staying behind me. Draco moves up to 3rd.
JJ Hudson on the back of Lukey.
Oh, he's doing it in second to last corner.
Defending. Oh, was that a little clip? Lukey keeping P6 at the moment.
Muddy's taking the opportunity with DRS and ERS assistance to drag race down to turns 2. Gets the look, but backs off for the moment, but moves down the inside on the sweeping left-hander. JJ Hudson holds the outside line, but Muddy makes the move on the inside, moves up into 7th place. Hudson is not falling back, though. He is very close indeed. Meanwhile, Lukey, the championship one of the protagonists, is climbing up the grid, but the thing is whether he climbs, Muddy follows.
Shrimpers on the back.
Breezy defending. Caesar calling it a day in the pit lane. After that contact earlier on, he did not.
This could be interesting there. We've got Muddy Biscuit, JJ Hudson, Hardy, and Shrimper all within 5/10 of each other.
Lukey sends it, gets past Breezy.
Breezy needs to go careful though, because he's got Muddy Biscuit, Hudson, and O'Hardy following in.
He's got the train quite built up.
I thought it would be a
Breezy.
bit more spread
Breezy's retaliating. He had a little look on Lukey. He's going to have the DRS assistance because Lukey's got nowhere near to FFR Milan. Looks like Breezy wants to take back his 5th place, but he's not got enough speed to get it done.
Muddy Biscuit with little tank slapper out of turn 2. Hardy's on the back of JJ Hudson a lot.
Round the outside! Oh, there's contact!
Everyone's through the inside of Breezy. Hardy clipped Breezy, but he's fine. No damage. Just missed the wall on the entrance to the track. You got Shrimpers going to be trying to fight through Breezy now.
Shrimper is going to look, but Breezy got very close to hitting the wall there after having contact with Lukey, and that has awarded everyone underneath Breezy, except for Shrimper, a free position. So that means Muddy can stay in the battle with Lukey now. He's not being held up by Breezy's Renault. He can stay with Lukey. Meanwhile, we've got to get back on board, with CSR Draco, because he's, after falling down from 2nd to 4th on the opening lap, he's managed to claw his way back up. He's overtaken Milan. He's opened the gap to Milan. He's now fought his way back and has caught up to Mega Centurion. This is a battle for the ages in terms of the Russian Grand Prix, as Draco has a DRS and ERS assistance. Meanwhile, Centurion is completely defenseless. Draco gets a little look round the outside. Centurion covers the inside, and Draco holds off for the time being.
Hardy starting to pressure JJ Hudson into turn 3.
Very good racing so far.
Asteroid looks like he's starting to close down on Lil Sparks right at the back of the grid.
Steffi as well on Shrimper.
Yeah.
Steffi's managed to reduce the gap between himself and Trimper now to 0.4 of a second, so he is maintaining a very nice gap there. I don't know when these softs are going to fall off, though, because eventually those medium runners will come back into play.
As well as Evo on the hard tyres. He's got
Draco.
6 seconds.
Oh, Draco's just made the move on Centurion.
He's not going to be happy about that.
Draco has managed to climb his way back to second place. Centurion valiantly tried to defend, but he just didn't have enough track to try and defend with. When they got to the corner, Draco had already gotten past completely, so Draco's now back up to second and is chasing down Predux. Last week, Draco beat Predux by penalties. This time, they're battling on the track.
Meanwhile, Breezy's trying to fight back and get past O'Hardy, starting to close in. He was within 0.2 of him into turn 12. Clip one of the corners and just unsettle his car a little bit. He's just trying to chase it back down. Shrimper's right on the back of Breezy though.
Getting a look.
Well, Shrimper.
It looks like Breezy has lost a little momentum.
I feel like that little thing with Lukey just unsettling his car and making him. I think he might have had to slam on the brakes a little bit, which, as a driver, would unsettle you. Shrimper had a little slide there.
Steffi's getting a look. Something's happened down the back of the grid. Oh, it's Evo. Evo span it on the first couple of corners and has wing damage to add insult to injury.
Oh, that's unlucky.
Good evening, all. Evening, all. Ruben's here. Hello. Oh no, not again.
This is interesting now with Draco.
A 3-second time penalty costed Predux the win in Singapore. All Draco has to do is stay with him to the end of the Grand Prix within that 3-second window. Obviously, we haven't hit the pit stops yet, so it's still anyone's game. But if Draco doesn't get shaken off of Predux all the way through the race and they fight their way back up to the top 2, if Draco doesn't collect any penalties at all, we could be seeing an exact repeat of Singapore, which I know Predux will hate.
Oh, Shrimper's... Not Shrimper. Yeah, Shrimper had a massive snap of oversteer out of turn 2, which let Steffi Weffy Gamer pass.
Dangerous Dan's now getting a look at him. The medium compound runner finally seeing some action on the track, catching up to the softs. I think we're now starting to see the soft tyres falling off a little bit.
It's just the soft runners just seeing who can manage their tyres a bit better, just to maybe go a lap, 1 or 2 laps longer, maybe just get past and then jump them before they get in the pit to get onto the mediums. Lukey's gone to the outside of FFR Milan, but Milan shuts the door nicely.
Good defence from the Scuderia, holding back the Pink Panther. The Panther waiting to pounce and claim the position, but for the moment, not right now. But there's a good battle behind him, though, for P6. It's Hardy, Hudson, and Muddy.
I'm on board with Hardy at the moment.
Oh, we have to go back on board with Lukey. Could we see the move being made here? Lukey's trying to hold the outside.
Astro's retired.
Astro probably doesn't see...
that's in the pit.
They're side by side! Going into the left-hander! After the opening chicane. Lukey and Milan. Milan, if he can hold the momentum and stay beside him, he'll have the inside.
Oh, he's backed out of it.
What a defence! Lukey's going to get another look, though, in the inside. Milan shuts the door on Lukey. I tell you what, that was a good battle. Almost looks like Lukey had the... Asteroid had to go. No worries, Asteroid. It was good to have you on the track, mate. Hopefully next week we'll be able to see you on the track
Ruben,
again.
how are you doing? Ruben's in the chat. I think Asteroid's car is back out on track.
That happens. When you retire in the pit, sometimes the game will re-release it. That's fine. He still obeyed the rules and retired properly.
Yes. Oh, Shrimper's...
Oh, Lukey!
Shrimper's moved! Shrimper's got past Steffi Gamer.
Took back his position that he lost to that snap of oversteer in the left-hander.
You got Lukey getting close to Milan again. You also, I think, I'm going to go on board with Draco because he's getting close to Predouts.
Oh, this is a good amount of back action now.
Oh, what's happening? Oh,
Looks like
Muddy's
some
in the
people
pit.
have chosen.
Yeah, Muddy, Hudson, Breezy, Steffi, all in the pit. So I'm guessing they must have felt the tyres starting to slide off a bit. So it's just a matter of time. Will Draco and Predouts both come in, or will Draco stay out?
I think it's a matter of who makes the first move here, because whoever jumps first, the only person who's really got the benefit of jumping in is Draco.
Yes.
But whoever jumps in first will have to make an amazing in-lap to minimise the damage, because they could do the undercut.
I feel like Draco wouldn't need to worry too much, because obviously Predout still has that 3-second time penalty, which will obviously help Draco out a bit with the pit and stuff. But you got Milan still trying to cling to the back of Lukey for 4th position.
Lukey did manage to make the pass though this lap on Milan before they hit the opening chicane. And now we get to see who's ducking in first. Predouts has decided to say, you know what, I'm going in. So this needs to be an amazing lap from Draco in hope of cutting past CSR Draco. Good battling so far, says Ruben. Dangerous down into 2nd place.
Shrimper's got past Milan. They're all in the pit. That's why. Didn't see that.
Not going to jump anyone in the pit lane though. Sometimes they might get held up by the traffic, but still stays the same.
Lil Sparks is on the back of Dangerous Dan. Very close at the moment. Fighting for 2nd place.
Ruben has uploaded a few trial videos onto YouTube for anyone who's interested. It's a sort of a trial at making highlight reels. So if anyone wants to catch the Singapore Grand Prix highlights of Divisions 1 through 5, please feel free. It's on the YouTube channel, Racing Series F1.
This is interesting now, because Dangerous Dan and Lil Sparks are both on 10-lap mediums. So I believe they both. Lil Sparks started last, so this is really good from him at the moment.
If a safety car comes out now, he'll maintain being in the top 3, because it's 20 to 30 seconds get saved in the pit lane depending on the track.
Yeah, I think if a safety car comes out now, should be Dangerous Dan, then Lil Sparks, because I feel like Draco would just probably try and jump in straight onto the mediums, just basically for a free pit stop. Meanwhile, you got Muddy Biscuit on the back of Lukey. JJ Hudson's following him.
We just have to keep an eye on the championship contenders, as Draco's now just exited the pits. He's now able to get going. Meanwhile, Predouts has managed to get ahead. I don't think his Centurion's going to get the jump on Draco coming out of the pit lane. However, Draco has not lost that much distance to Predouts. So as it stands, Draco needs to continue managing the pace in staying with Predouts, or maybe even overtake him, to win the Russian Grand Prix. Is this a 1-stop track? Is this a 2-stop track? We'll only find out soon. It depends on how long Lil Sparks and Dan takes their mediums, so we can get a good reference on how long they can take them. Because right now, we don't know if these can get to the end of the race.
I'm currently watching O'Hardy, and he's at the back of the train of him, Milan, Hudson, and Muddy Biscuit, all on the back of Lukey. That's all of that's technically for P6. Lukey just needs to try and fight him off and just keep him behind him.
In a matter of the championship, Lukey just needs to make sure he outscores Muddy to cut the gap down. If Muddy finishes in front of Lukey, the gap extends. The only way Lukey can take the lead of the Grand Prix is if Lukey wins the Grand Prix and Muddy doesn't finish at all.
It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight. But Muddy and JJ still, and Milan and Hardy still all on the back of Lukey.
And they're still fighting fiercely. Lukey locks it. Not losing any time though. Good battle from the championship protagonists.
Dangerous Dan has started to drop off with little sparks. Dropping out of the 1 second.
Draco, meanwhile, is cutting down the gap between himself and Predouts.
Shrimper's trying to close in on Breezy as well. Right at the back, towards the back of the grid. I feel like if there's a safety car soonish, I feel like Evo's going to be in a very good position, even though he's got the penalties. He just needs safety car to help him a lot. Just bring him back straight back into the back of the pack to try and fight through. But you've got Muddy Biscuit still on the back of Lukey.
A good fight between the pair of them. It's just it's getting that momentum to make the pass, because if Lukey gets really good traction coming out the final corner and get enough speed down, even with the DRS assistance, Muddy won't be able to close that gap.
Just Lukey like that, Muddy had a slight little, looked like he went over the curb a tiny bit onto the last corner, which held him off a little bit.
Slightly gaining.
Draco's gaining on Predouts again. Will he wait and try and go for the move on the long DRS then?
This is for the net lead, remember?
Yeah.
So anything could happen here. Either Draco could prosper, Predouts could defend, or it could all go wrong depending on who does what.
At the moment though, Draco doesn't really need to go for a move at the moment because Predouts has that 3-second penalty. Evo's got 9 at the back.
He would need it.
Yes.
Depending on how Centurion, if Centurion can make pace, if he stays behind Predouts, it could fight him in the back if he doesn't make the move. So I think for safety though, as a driver, I think you need to make the pass.
The train's still going between Lukey, Muddy, Hudson, Milan and O'Hardy. Shrimper's got past Breezy, by the way.
Nicely done. Shrimper is gaining on Hardy, only slightly. Get himself into the final point scoring position. Meanwhile, Draco and Predouts. Looks like the move could be done. Predouts holds the inside line. Draco gets the outside line. And Draco takes P3, but currently takes the net lead of the Grand Prix. Gets a poor run coming out of the chicane of turns 2 and 3. Predouts gets a little look on Draco. However, he didn't gain enough momentum to make the pass.
Predouts is still on the back of him though. Not going to let him run away.
Fastest first sector.
Hardy gets a 3-second penalty.
Oh gosh.
Oh, Muddy Biscuit with a bit of a lock-up. Milan's on the back of JJ Hudson.
Large train and Shrimper is soon going to catch up to it.
Oh, Hardy. Oh! massive spin from JJ Hudson.
JJ Hudson must have caught a little bit of the the curb. That's a virtual safety car. I do not know how someone didn't DNF from that.
I'm not sure either, because I was on board with Hardy and he smacked straight into Milan and Hudson. Have they?
Dan and Sparks could prosper
Hudson's
here.
got wing damage on the left side.
Everyone's sticking to the Delta.
Milan's got wing damage on the right side. And Hardy has got right wing damage as well.
Oh my god, this is big. Dan is in contention for winning the Grand Prix. Everyone's sticking to the Delta on the virtual safety car, which means that Dangerous Dan and Little Sparks have made 15 seconds in their pit stops.
This is going to be interesting.
They've minimalised the loss.
Those three who had that collision are all in the pit lane now. Just probably going to whack on the soft tyres. Oh, Hardy puts on never set mediums. Milan and Hudson onto the softs. Hudson must not have another
push.
Hudson must not have another set of softs to put on fresh meds.
I have no idea, but
I'm going to go.
Here's the big thing, though. If Sparks and Dangerous Dan, because they can definitely last about 10 laps.
Yeah.
If Sparks and Dan can get some pace going, we could see them battling for the possibility of winning the Grand Prix.
It's going to come down to it, isn't it? It's going to be a very close battle.
So, getting another look on Draco, trying to retake the position going into the bridge. Draco holds the racing line. Predouts decides not to send it in the end. He holds
Dangerous
off
Dan
just
coming
for that
down on
time.
Little Sparks. Onto the inside. Oh, he's back. Oh, Little Sparks will lock up. Dangerous Dan passed him.
Dan's up to 6th, and that is big. Dan's now no longer being held up, and with the soft compound tyre advantage compared to worn mediums, Dan is now on the charge. Meanwhile, back on board with Predouts. The battle for the lead. He goes round the outside. Draco holds the inside. Predouts retakes the lead of the Russian Grand Prix.
Draco's not going to like that, though. He's going to try and fight straight back. Meanwhile, you got Breezy on the back of Shrimper again. He's to be fighting all
just
race.
Don't know when to stop. So now the big question is can Predouts hold out? Will Draco collect another penalty?
Hudson with a 3-second penalty now as well.
Oh, only 4 people have actually got penalties though. I'm actually quite surprised.
Evo's got 9, but obviously he's still.
Evo's collected a lot.
He's still at the back, but that virtual safety car did cut his time down to half behind the 13th place. He was almost 50 seconds, and he's now only 24.
He's managed to claw his way back a little bit.
But Dangerous Dan trying to close in on Muddy Biscuit there.
He made up that time very quickly, but then again with the tyre advantage, no surprise.
Yeah. His pace with the softs at the moment just seeming so good.
He's gonna do it. He might try and make a move at some. No, he's not going to do it on the second glass corner. He's going to do it on the straight.
Either the straight or turn. Either this straight here, turn 3, or the ever long straight.
Isn't straight.
Yeah. Well, it's got that two or three corners in, but he's going for it now. I think.
Just Dan's going to do it. He's sending it down the inside. Muddy holds the outside. Muddy has a little lock up. Pushes Dan back up, up to 5th place. Muddy's going to try and retake his position, but Dan shuts the door, forces Muddy to having to take the long way round. Dangerous Dan moves up to P5 and is closing down on the other championship protagonist, Lukey.
JJ Hudson's fastest lap, but he's trying to close down on FFR Milan. Meanwhile, you still got Breezy on the back of Shrimper, Little Sparks and Muddy Biscuit fighting. Trying to catch up to Dangerous Dan. That's surprising. I know.
Oh, Breezy. Breezy's collected a 3-second time penalty, which has just bought Shrimper some safety. And now Sparks is going to get that look on Muddy Biscuit, not Shrimper. Oh, Muddy's got the inside. Round the outside. Sparks up to 6th. I mean, like, Dan's already on Lukey.
Oh, it's going to be interesting to see how Lukey copes with this. Will Dangerous Dan go for the same move that he'd done on Muddy Biscuit? Oh, Lukey looked like he had a bit of trouble at that corner.
No! Muddy's finally broken his clean streak. Oh. Muddy has collected a 3-second time penalty.
On the inside, he's got past him at the moment. But how will Lukey respond? Meanwhile, Lil Sparks is on the back of Lukey as well.
Dangerous Dan's up to 4th and is bearing down on the top 3.
Draco's closing in on pre-outs yet again.
The clean streak. JJ Hudson's called it a day. The clean streak of Muddy Biscuit throughout the entire season, not collecting a 3-second time penalty in Russia in season 4. I think this is over a span of 2 seasons. Collects his first 3-second time penalty that I've ever seen Muddy collect on his own.
Lil Sparks is trying to close down on Lukey in the DRS zone. Don't think he's going to be able to get him here though. Oh, Hudson's car's come out as well.
That's fine. I think it'll pull over at the early runoff areas. Meanwhile, lap 20 of 27. Dangerous Dan, the gap towards Mega Centurion and Dangerous Dan is 2 seconds. Dan takes the fastest lap of the race. I reckon Dan is
Lukey's going for
attacking
a move.
Distance.
Lukey's going to get a move done from Lil Sparks. Gone for around the outside of him.
Sparks up to 5th. Lukey down to 6th. So I estimate the attacking distance. I estimate Dan will make the attack.
Lil Sparks will try and follow him through
on the start-finish straight next lap.
I feel like Lil Sparks, if he can get close, he's going to try and follow him through. Meanwhile, Breezy's on the back of Shrimper yet again. Within 2/10 of him. Will he hold off and make it in the DRS zone?
We'll try there. Meanwhile, Dan has already caught up to Centurion.
Shrimper's gone a little bit wide.
But Breezy didn't get a good run through the midsection himself.
Back to that DRS. Breezy's got no ERS to use though. Neither is Shrimper. Oh, bit
he hits the back of the McLaren.
Dangerous Dan is
Shrimper not to lose.
Dangerous Dan has been flying and he's straight on the back of Mega Zentorian.
Well, he's going to do it again. He overtook Muddy
fastest
here.
lap yet again. Lil Sparks with the fastest lap, actually.
Here he goes. It's a drag race, basically down to the first couple of corners. Predus has got 6 seconds worth of time penalties. At this rate...
He's on the back of him as well.
Oh my god! No, not here. Dan, around the left-hand curve, makes a move down the inside, contact with Mega Centurion. He makes a move, however, it doesn't stick. Dangerous Dan remains in 4th, but Pedus has collected another 3-second. Draco's collected a 3-second time penalty.
If Draco gets another 3-second penalty, he's going to have to try and get past him.
Because right now, it's Dangerous Dan. If he can get past Centurion and cut the gap down, Dan is on possibility of winning the Grand Prix.
He's having trouble getting past Mega Zentorian at the moment now. Will he go for
He's got no battery.
He clips the wall. No damage. He did
Looks like
Centurion
just shut the door on him. He didn't just shut it, he slammed it. But
He ain't giving up.
manages to persevere. Because that's also one thing about F1 league racing. It's more of a mental strategy as well as pure pace. You have to psych out the other driver.
When I was driving, when I had someone on the back of me the whole time, it was daunting. You know if you make a mistake, you're giving that position away. You just got to try.
Dan has managed to get the slipstream, and the DRS assistance with some ERS takes third place. And now here comes the big bit, because Predouts has 6 seconds worth of penalties, so Dangerous Dan is currently net second. Draco has 3 seconds worth of penalties. Dan needs to cut the gap down to fight to take the lead, well, net lead of the Russian Grand Prix. Sparks is now finally caught up to Mega Centurion. These two capitalised on the virtual safety car, and look at the aggression they're displaying. They tore their way through Muddy Biscuit, they tore their way through Lukey, and now they're both about to tear their way through Mega Centurion.
Oh, Draco's made the move on Predouts. Into pit. He's got P1 at the moment.
Oh, Sparks and Mega Centurion at the bridge.
Oh.
Sparks tried to make the move down the inside, and Centurion got his elbows out, defended aggressively, and that aggression has managed to force Neil Sparks to hold back. Sparks backed off. Mega Centurion keeps 4th position for the moment. Meanwhile, the gap between Predouts, Draco, and Dan is 4 seconds.
Dan is
now
getting on the back
win.
of Draco again. Not letting him keep it. He's trying not to let him have this win. Either got another 3 second.
Sparks gets the DRS assistance, flies past Mega Centurion. It was had to happen eventually. The softs still had the life compared to those medium runners, but the question is with the aggressive stints that they're doing, it looks like Dan's now starting to slightly lose a little bit of pace. I reckon now the softs are now starting to slightly fall off. But the more these two fight, the more they can allow Dan to come back into contention. Right now, Dan is net second place. If he can cut the gap down to under 3 seconds between himself and the car in second place...
Just gone below 4 seconds, he needs another second gone.
This is aggressive racing between Predouts and Draco. Just like in Singapore, they battled hard, but Draco crossed the line and beat him on penalties. And at the moment, Draco will beat him in penalties.
The only fight at the moment is Predouts and Draco. You still got Breezy on the back of Shrimper there. Centurion's trying to stay with Lil Sparks, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to.
It does look like, though, that the mediums are starting to show their life advantage compared to those soft, because Dan's monumental pace that he was displaying is starting now to slightly fall away.
He's sort of standing around that 4 second mark, so...
He has to pray Draco collect another 3 second time penalty.
Yes. If he does that, then all he's got to do is stay within the 6 seconds. But he's dropped down another 2 tenths. So it's just a question of how much those softs drop off.
So lap 24 of 27 as it stands. Penalty-wise, Draco has 3, Predouts has 6, Muddy has 3, Breezy has 3, Steffi has 3, Hardy has 3, Evo has 12. Breezy has just made that 6 seconds now, not 3. Could you just use the race director just to find out how many warnings Draco and Predouts have apiece?
What's that, incident, yeah?
Yeah, the race director. You'll be able to find out the exact amount of warnings.
Who's that for? Predouts?
And Draco.
Predouts has 1 there. 2, 3, that's 1 pen. Predouts... Freedouts has 2 penalties and 2 warnings.
Oh, what about Draco?
Draco has...
One penalty, but how many warnings?
It doesn't look like he actually has any more warnings, so he's only got the penalty.
So Draco looking pretty clean at the moment. Dan has fallen back, but imagine that, because right now Predutz, if he runs wide one more time...
Which he just did, but he got away with it.
No penalty though. He could get 9 seconds, and Lil Sparks, imagine that, Lil Sparks, last to 4th.
To be fair though, looks like Lil Sparks is keeping the momentum he had compared to Dangerous Dan, because he's closing in on Dangerous. Lukey's starting to close in on Mega Zentorian, and you've still got Breezy and Shrimper battling.
And not Breezy, I have to give credit where it's due. He is not giving up.
Mega Zentorian gets a penalty.
Oh dear, that's just given Lukey net P5.
Could that be P4?
No, I won't be P4.
No. Well, if Predouts gets another pen, then it could be.
It could be. Let's look at the gap to leader. Lukey is 9.4. It's 6 seconds to Predouts. If Predouts collects another time penalty, he just needs to make up half a second to get net P4.
Lil Sparks is getting closer and closer to Dangerous Dan.
It's a fight for second
Dangerous
place.
Dan doesn't have any. I don't think Dangerous Dan has any RS left. Or he goes for Lil Sparks going to the outside.
Dan holds the inside. Oh!
Lil Sparks still.
The touching wheels.
Still there. Lil Sparks got past him at the moment. Milan's got a 3 second time penalty.
Dan's biding his time. Right now, Dan is net P3. They just need to keep the pace going. In a way, Lil Sparks can actually be a good assistance now to Dan. If Dan can keep the pace going, he can stay in Lil Sparks' DRS and hope to jump Predouts. Because right now, Dangerous Dan only will just barely jump Predouts if Predouts doesn't collect another time penalty.
Lil Sparks is pulling away from Dangerous Dan at the moment, though.
Is it enough, though? He needs to make 2 seconds to jump
into
Draco.
first. You got Lukey trying to make his way up to Mega Centaurian as well.
He's doing it. He just cut off half a second.
Breezy looks like he's starting to drop off a Shrimper finally.
While these two battle hard, Sparks is catching up. 1.4 seconds separate Sparks from the win.
The final
Here
lap
we go.
as well.
Draco has managed to do quite a bit right. He overtook Predouts. Predouts got penalties. Draco then collected one for himself as well. But this time, Draco wants to win on the track. He's
not going to hand the win to him.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, he's fighting hard for it. Predouts lost to Draco via penalties back in Singapore. I'm pretty sure Predouts would prefer to lose on track than lose to penalties.
But he's going to, if he does, he's going to drop to. It's going to drop down to 4th, so Dangerous Dan's going to have P3.
Right now, though,
at the moment, Dangerous Dan looks slowly dropping off, though.
He's holding on.
In.
And here we go with CSR Draco. After a monumental performance back in Singapore, capitalising on strategy, pouncing at the end on a very worn and tired out
6 seconds. Just outside.
It's close. Round the last corner, CSR Draco wins
he's inside.
the Russian Grand Prix.
He's out. Wait, he's inside. Oh, he's
Dangerous
just done
Dan
it.
does it. Lil Sparks last to second.
Just done it.
Draco wins the Russian Grand Prix. Predouts, a superlative drive. Oh, I lose my voice. A superlative drive from Predouts. He did everything he could, but those penalties did bite him in the back, but this time he lost to Draco with a battle on the track rather than a penalty.
By 3 tenths he lost to Dangerous Dan.
But Sparks, I think those softs really did lose out on the last couple of laps in terms of their pace. They were shutting the gap immensely, and then Dan and Sparks just stopped being able to. But what a race from Sparks. He joins late, dead last from 16th position, comes home second.
I would say he's got to be driver of the day from me.
The game has voted him driver of the day. I personally would give him my vote. If you want to make your vote for driver of the day, please head onto Twitter at Racing Series F1. A poll will soon open in the next handful of hours, and then you'll be able to vote for your chosen driver of the day in the Russian Grand Prix Division 2. And Source, that has been an amazing debut for you in the comms, because you got an amazing battle from the get-go.
Yeah, it was a very surprising comms debut from me, with the amount of battling. Even if it was just Shrimper and Breezy fighting, it'd have been amazing. But you had half the grid, you had Predouts fighting for P1. It was incredible.
Meanwhile, while you invite the top 3 into the party for the podium interview, I'll go over the grid. So CSR Draco managing to hold and make it his second consecutive win in RSF1. That's his third win as well, sorry. He won in Belgium, he won in Singapore, and that's his third win in the league, but that's his second consecutive win in a row. Little Sparks joining late, gets second place after starting last. Dangerous Dan third, very good work from him. Predouts fourth, Lukey fifth, Centurion sixth, Muddy seventh, Shrimper eighth, very good result from Shrimper after coming back from a long while being gone. Breezy ninth, Steffi 10th, Hardy 11th, Milan 12th, Evo 13th, Hudson 14th, Asteroid 15th, and Caesar 2 Wizard round off the grid.
Can you try and invite Little Sparks? Because for some it wouldn't let me invite it. It didn't give me the option to send him a look at his gamer tag thing. They've done it through Race Director.
Try doing it through Recently Met. That was a very, very interesting race. We'll just wait now for Dangerous Dan.
There we go, I've invited him. I invited Little Sparks.
Little Sparks. We've got Draco in. We'll just wait and see if we can get the others in. Let's just give it one more minute, and then we'll get him in. So what we'll do is there we go. I'll do third, you do second, I'll do first.
Okay.
Right. So starting off, Dangerous Dan. It looks like we do get to speak to you again. After speaking to you earlier, being eliminated from Q2, you started 12th. It didn't look like it was going your way for a little while, but after gambling on the medium strategy with Sparks as well, that virtual safety car brought you in contention for the win, but it looks like your soft started to fall off at the last couple of laps. But tell us how it was on your end. Yeah, it was almost looking like he was going to shoot for net lead, but then on the second to last lap, no, sorry, it was the lap 25, you were under 4 seconds away from getting close to the car in second, but then you just started to fall back down to the 4.5 second range, so
apparently Dan has no
ended
audio.
Up becoming a...
Ruben saying that there's no audio for Dan.
Oh. It's the bug thing. So just to go over what Dan said for people that didn't hear him, he was struggling with a little bit of grip compared to the soft runners early stages, but managed to benefit massively from that virtual safety car. Found some serious grip on those softs, got near the end, but obviously the grip worn away, and he's very happy with the podium in P3. And so, Dan, I'm pretty sure, I know you would have wanted second, but P3 is still very good for you. It's been a little bit since you stepped on the podium. Do you feel that's a nice little morale boost getting onto the top 3?
Yeah, definitely. I've had a difficult past a good 4 or 5 races, to be honest. I did miss a couple of weeks, I think Hungary and Belgium, but coming back, Italy was a challenging race, and Singapore didn't go too bad. I think I picked up 5th there, so yeah, it's just trying to keep the momentum going through towards the end of the season. I think we've only got 5 or 6 races left. My memory serves me right.
Yeah, roughly about 5 or 6. Well, congratulations on a nicely earned P3. So now I'll pass over to RSF1 Source unless he has any questions for you before we move on to Source interviewing Sparks.
No, I'd just like to say well done on P3.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.
Sorry. Yeah, Lil Sparks. I'm looking at the stats. It looks like this is your first podium.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah, which is well done on that as well.
Thank you.
You come in late, obviously not been able to do qualifying. Started in P16, managed to fight your way back up to P2, obviously with pre-doubts having the 6-second penalties. So just explain how you your thought process from when you joined with the strategy through the race.
Well, everything that needed to be said, Dan already said for me, but obviously the virtual safety car couldn't have came at a better time. It was perfect time. And then in the pit exit, I was a bit wary because I thought I'd get a drive through. Then Dan closed up a lot there. Then he overtook me, and then it was just all about following Dan and everything, just making sure I don't battle him too much, and then we both benefit. So yeah.
Yeah. What was going through your mind because obviously you and Dan were fighting quite a bit, even when you went into the pit, obviously both come out of the pit at the same time on the same tyres. Looked like Dan sort of started to pull away from you a tiny bit, and then towards the end you obviously started pulling back to him, managed to get past him to get the P2. So when you started to pull away, what were you sort of thinking to try and keep yourself gathered and try and close back up to him?
Well, I wasn't too fast. I knew that Mega Centurion's very he likes to defend a lot, and I knew that I could just catch up while Dan was stuck behind the medium runners. And I had a little feeling he was using a lot of ERS, so I wasn't too fast. I knew, I don't know what to say, but he really had the pace in the second stint, the first half of the second stint. It was
Well, some of the overtakes you had to make was some of them was a bit close. I feel like some of them obviously. I think there was one I can't remember. I think it was with Lukey. You got quite close to him, if I'm correct.
Was it the one where I locked up badly?
Yes.
Oh yes, yeah. He was coming close, and then I just missed my braking point because I was too focused on the car behind, and then
Well, that's like all the questions I got for you. But congratulations on P2 as well as your first podium.
Thank you very much.
And before we move on to Draco, Sparks, that must feel good. Redemption from Singapore. You lagged out when you was fighting in the top 3 back in Singapore. You come back last to second. I bet you feel great from
I didn't even
getting
know
some
if I was
redemption
gonna
today.
race, so that's just
But you're glad you did now.
I was all about carrying the momentum. and hopefully doing better.
Well, congratulations on a well-earned P2. You've got mine and Source's vote for driver of the day. Obviously, when the poll comes out, we know who our vote is going to be.
Yeah, thank you.
So, yeah, well done, mate.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the comms as well.
Oh, thank you. We're just trying our best. Deliver a good show.
Hopefully I was alright in comms, but...
You did brilliantly. That's a very good debut. And now, Draco, are you getting a little bit too comfortable there in the top spot? That's your second consecutive win now, mate. You won back in Singapore from catching out Predutz on the penalty beforehand, but this time you didn't just beat him in penalties, you beat him on the track. I think he prefers to also be beaten on the track than, be jumped in penalties, but still, you took the lead and... see you, little Sparks. You took the lead. You battled long and hard throughout the Grand Prix from start to finish with Predutz all the way to the end. It must have been a very, very pressurizing race for you.
Yeah. Nearly got pole. I think it was like 100 of a second behind. So, I mean, I wasn't too disappointed with that because it was a long way to turn one. But yeah, I didn't get the best start, so yeah, tough start, dropping down 2 positions. But I knew I had the pace, and I knew I could catch up to Predutz. So yeah, I managed to get past Centurion and Milan, if I'm correct. And yeah, just had to battle with Predutz. He boxed lap, and I went for another one. So I had the fresher tires, so boxed lap 11. And then, yeah, just stayed with Predutz and stayed in the DRS there for a while and then got past him. And I got a 3 seconds, so I was scared that Dangerous Dan was going to catch up because he was on the softs. And, yeah, that was a very tough race, yeah.
Well, it must be good for you, though, because that's your second consecutive win now. You really got a nice result, and I know you was really, really chuffed with your second win back in Singapore. It's now your 3rd race win of the season, so it's not a hat trick because it's not 3 in a row, but still, that's 3 race wins under your belt for season 4. I know the championship is quite out of it for you to really do some damage, but obviously going for the glory, that's quite nice too, knowing that you're a Grand Prix winner multiple times over. But I have to say though, you've made so much ground from when I first saw you proper start racing in season 4. Like you was fighting in the midfield quite a bit, but then suddenly now we're finding you winning races. Do you reckon when season 5 comes around, are you going to try and take that championship by storm?
Well, I think I'm really going to focus on RSF1 next season, yeah, because I really enjoy this league. The attendance is always good and everyone's really nice, so I think I'm really going to focus on this league. And hopefully, yeah, go for the championship, and yeah, I'm going to try my best and see how it goes.
Well, congratulations on a well-earned P1 that was not easily obtained, but you got it. Source, do you have any questions for Draco before we wrap up the stream?
Just obviously, when you came out of the pit, you came out behind Predutz onto the mediums. What were you just trying to stick with him, or did you straight away want to get past him?
I wanted to save a bit of ERS and try and stay behind him for a while, and yeah, just save the ERS and then just make my move when it was time. And yeah, it was just, I wasn't really too bothered coming out behind him. I knew anyway because he was going to get a bit of an undercut, but yeah, it wasn't too much of a problem and managed to get past him in the end. So yeah.
That's all I got for you, but congrats on the win as well.
Yeah, thank you.
That has been one of the most interesting Russian Grand Prix I have watched in a long while. I think the last time I enjoyed a Russian Grand Prix all the way through was back season 1 when it was myself and Bodder, the good old days. Yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for joining me and Source for the Division 2 Russian Grand Prix. I'd also like to just everyone give a massive round of applause and big respect to Source on his debut. He did tremendously well. Obviously, he was a little bit unsure on what was going to happen, but you did brilliantly, mate. You delivered a good show. We bounced backwards and forwards quite well. It's definitely really good work, mate. So well done, and that's a good job.
Thank you. Just hoping, obviously, do quite a few more with you, and just try and build up my confidence and stuff with the comms and that. So.
Well, we're all here to help out, and I'm glad you enjoyed it today. And thank you very much, everyone, for joining us for the Russian Grand Prix. Just to go over the top 3 once more before we wrap up for tonight. In third place, it is Dangerous Dan in the Mercedes. In second place, it's Lil Sparks in his AlphaTauri. Obviously, I know he was in a Renault, but he joined late, and the game put him in the car.
Might want to stick to the Renault.
Yeah, it looks like your Renault's your lucky car. And then in first place is Draco, making it his second consecutive win in RSF1. Obviously his third race win. And thank you very much, everyone. Please take care, stay safe. Also, just a quick recap, if you want to assist in helping Shrimper in his battle with cancer, there is links in the chat. If you want to make a donation, even if it's just a tiny one, please. Every little helps in Shrimper's battle with cancer, and it was good to see him on the track today. In the meantime, please take care, stay safe, and have a good evening.
Bye-bye.